Other interesting political news, you have George Soros' purchase of conservative news was fast-tracked by the FCC. Process that would take apparently over a year. Well, this happened darn near immediately, and yeah, not too surprised. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Mario Nawal, who's a writer or contributor over at X Twitter, in which he says, quote, FCC fast-tracked Soros' bid to dominate the airwaves. Last week, the FCC adopted an order to approve his purchase of more than 200 radio stations in 40 markets just weeks before the presidential election. The stations reach more than 165 million Americans, and staff at the FCC are concerned the move is politically motivated. Commission's 3 Democrats voted for the move, while 2 Republicans voted against it. Under the current FCC rulings, foreign company ownership of U.S. radio stations are not supposed to exceed 25%. Soros took in foreign investment to make this bid and then filed a request for the Commission to make an exception to the usual review process. The decision to fast-track the approval process bypassed a national security review, which could have taken up to a year to complete. And there you can see George Soros with the World Economic Forum picture behind him. And this one went pretty viral. Got 17.7 million views and 29,000 likes, which, yeah, consolidation of telecommunications in that regard is always concerning. And there are some people who still listen to the radio, believe it or not. Now, one of the first comments comes from the Hodge twins saying, quote, then you get Tim Walz meeting with the young Soros too. We know they are trying to steal the election, unquote. And that got only, was it 11,000 likes? Now you have other comments coming from Bill Dubs. He says, quote, the FCC are concerned this move is politically motivated because it is. The FCC is blatantly allowing this to be expedited for political reasons. George Soros, Alexander Soros, shouldn't be allowed to influence programming or advertising. Ownership is one thing, unquote. Now that got 53,000 views and 2,000 likes. Here I have Jay Kerner saying, quote, yet another of many examples of our corrupt and treasonous Democratic government in bed with our enemies and adversaries. Soros is rapidly foaming at the mouth, anti-U.S. More than once, he has publicly stated his intentions to destroy the U.S. He, quote, opened Society Foundation as an oxymoron and dedicated to globalist agendas that destroy America. It's the exact opposite of an open society. George Soros has been the number 1 or number 2 top funding source for Democrat politicians over many years. That says it all. Democrats support the disruption of America as a constitutional republic. Soros has given hundreds of millions of dollars to finance riots by terrorist groups such as BLM and Antifa. He handpicked Marxists and corrupt DAs and AGs and financed their campaigns. Some of these DAs are behind false felonies manufactured against Trump. This is what the Democratic Party is, a corrupt, treasonous organization dedicated to dismantling our republic, unquote. Now that got 7.3 thousand likes, and fact-checked mainly, I would say true, in terms of, look at a lot of the district attorneys, look at places like San Francisco especially, there's a reason they don't prosecute crime, and he's the one who is overwhelmingly funding a lot of their elections, a lot of their campaigns. It is quite concerning, to say the least. Other top comments comes from Stella, in which she says, quote, funny how Soros is the only one who aims to be able to fast-track anything in the United States, getting 7.5 thousand likes. State Luddy says, quote, totally illegal. Trump must win and declare Soros a terrorist, just like other countries have, getting 8.2 thousand likes. Clay Thompson says, quote, whenever someone refers to an election interference, Soros should be at the forefront of every discussion, getting 4,000 likes. Hey, see anyone sticking up for George down here? Another creepy picture. I was going to say another creepy picture of him, but let's be honest, they're pretty much all creepy. I'll say Jamie Olsen having a picture of Soviet Union. It says Kamal News Network getting 118 likes. We in it for the Congress. Interesting profile name. Or if I pronounce it properly, Weinroth for Congress. All right. This congressional action is required to block FCC for allowing Soros to acquire another 200-plus radio license. They cannot seem to understand the monopoly they are creating, getting 1.6 thousand likes. Which, yeah, quite concerning. There's any contrarian statements here? I don't think so, but scroll more and more. Misty Morning says the FCC needs to be reviewed since they just took a lot of money and didn't follow the process. The FCC was bought by Soros. That should be considered a crime, getting 835 likes. I think the only question is how quickly do they all immediately change their programming and change their messaging on those news networks? I can't but think it won't be overnight, but what, 36 hours, 48 hours? It's quite concerning. Here, another one has an infographic for Soros-linked progressive prosecutors. And there's fortunately, there's a lot of them in the great state, or some would argue the great country of Texas, which a lot of them on the East Coast, especially. And then, yeah, pretty much, what was it, all the Bay Area, San Francisco. Interestingly enough, as always, it seems like even Soros, I mean, the Dakotas are just forgotten. There's not a single person there. Say Montana or Wyoming or Nebraska, an underrated state. But yeah, I mean, again, a process that could normally take up to a year. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. It got immediately fast-tracked for George, especially with all the connections and all the resources that he has these days. But let me know in the comments. Do you think? I mean, it sounds like it's all approved. I don't think it's going to be magically blocked at the final hour, or that anyone's going to really intervene. But let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.